Welcome back, goal setters and dream builders. Before we begin, let me make this very clear. This video is not about getting rich overnight. No, this is not about get rich quick. This is about creating a legacy slowly and intelligently. Because today we are talking about how one property can actually become a source of multiple income stream. And here is where finally many people understand that real estate is not just about owning a house, it's actually about creating or building a wealth generation machine. Let me tell you something that maybe never crossed your mind. What if I told you that the house you live in today could actually possibly help you pay your mortgage, pay your bills, and generate monthly cash flow, and possibly help you to buy your next property? Because the big mistake here people make, people see a house as an expense. But rich people who understand the real estate, they see a house as a system that can create income, monthly income, a system that creates equity, a system that creates more opportunities. And this is called the wealth loop. And once you understand this, you stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an investor. Here is where many people mess up. They keep saying, one day I wanna, or my goal is to own multiple properties. But the big mistake, they never buy the first one. And the first house is your startup. It's not your destination. So you buy your first house to start, but remember, you keep that in mind that is not your destination. And listen to me carefully. No one started with 10 houses, 50 units, or a real estate empire. Everyone started with one condo, one townhouse, one apartment, and one house to start. And over time, that one property becomes your leverage for your next move. Think of it like planting a tree. When you plant a tree, you don't eat fruits next week or in 2 weeks. But years later, the tree feeds generations to come. How to use your equity as a fuel. So every mortgage payment builds ownership. So if your property value increase, that means your equity also increase even faster. So let's use an example to illustrate this. Let's say you buy a house for $500,000. Years later, 4 years, 5 years, the house becomes $700,000. That means you have actually created hundreds of thousands in equity. And equity is not just money sitting in walls. Equity can become a fuel for future investment. And investors, rich people understand this. And this is how actually many investors buy their property. Number 2, not from working harder, but from using the growth of property number 1 to buy property number 2. Let's talk about how one property can actually become a source of multiple income streams. So one thing you can do, you can rent the house. The house have a basement and have upstairs. So you can rent the basement and live upstairs. That's one. Second option, you can actually rent rooms, room by room, depending on how big the house is. That's a second option. Third option, you can actually create a business, Airbnb, bi-weekly or depending on customers, you can do that business. Number 4, you can use this actually as your office. If you can do home business. Another option is you can actually create an online business using your house just as a beginner. And the good thing with this, when it comes to filing, you can benefit many things, claiming your electricity and think of anything else. But just to mention this. Now, here is the funny part. Some people own houses, but the houses are financially sleeping. Meanwhile, somebody else having a similar home, but the home is financially working non-stop. So as you can see, same house, different results. Same house, different mindset. Here is where the wealth loop begins. First, you buy your property. Second, you pay your mortgage to build equity. 3, your property increase in value. 4, the property generate cash flow. 5, you reinvest strategically. 6, you repeat the process. This is the loop. And over time, the system becomes bigger than your paycheck. And eventually, your assets start helping you financially, because this is why rich people actually focus on asset ownership, cash flow, and appreciation, not paycheck. Let's keep this real. Leverage is very powerful, but only when used wisely. And it is very dangerous when used carelessly. So, real estate still needs discipline, needs planning, you need emergency funds, you need better, good decision making, you need planning. Because real estate is not magic. You still need good budgeting, you need good tenants, and you need good planning. You need a good financial habits, because a smart investor thinks long term, not short term. Most people spend years financing beautiful cars, holidays, expensive lifestyles. This is not wrong if it's done in moderation. But the problem is they drag their feet when it comes to financing something that appreciates over time. So easily spend $100,000 on expensive car that lose the value as soon as it gets out of the shop, but panic when it's about to buy a house. So you can see this is not a money problem. This is a mindset problem. The goal is not to buy many houses to look rich. The goal is to create a system that creates freedom, that creates long-term stability. As you can see, one property can really transform and change your future. Not overnight, but slowly, strategically, and powerfully. And once you understand equity, cash flow, ownership, and appreciation, you stop chasing money. you start creating the system to generate income. If this video opened your mind, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Because here we talk about financial freedom, wealth psychology, life building, not just how to make money, but how to build the life you love living. Thank you.